Always ready.
All right, we are back for another Astro Energy report with Inese. It's July. Her and I are already talking, and we're like, we need to hit record. This is good. This is coming out. Where should
The
we kick it off
channel.
with the fine people? Where should we kick it off with the beautiful people of the podcast world?
Hi, it's so nice to be back and connecting. It kind of feels simultaneously grounding and expansive. Our conversations like ground me in time and space. And our channel is really beautiful. So that has opened up so we can just jump in right in the themes that we were speaking about before.
Yeah.
Um,
So Ineza and I have been sharing how we're living right now on our social medias, and we were talking to each other right now, just how inspired we were about what each other is doing. And for example, I was saying to her, she was like, "How are you?" And I was like, "How do we answer that question anymore on planet Earth? How are you?" Like, right? Like, what a loaded question. And then the loaded answer that comes with like, so I just gave her a bunch of erratic eye movements.
that's exactly the answer. I was like, that's just I like different kinds of gestures, sounds. That's kind of like the appropriate answer.
Yeah. And then I was like, honestly, I don't know if people hate me online right now, but all I'm doing is totally balancing out, just helping the women that are in my world with their purpose. Like I have like, I'm working with like maybe 25 people right now, and
Yeah.
they're all doing the damn thing, right? So it's just like helping, guiding, supporting, launching, creating, designing, just I'm just here. I'm really deeply rooted and present for them and anchored.
Yeah.
And then after that, I go outside with my kids and I read. I've been reading like a 500-page book a month, sometimes in 3 weeks. Like I am reading and just sitting outside in the sun or in the shade, wherever, with my kids. And my kids are running around butt naked, free as little wild beasts. And that's my life right now, and that's just where I'm at. And then that's when you said, you were like,
Yeah. And I was, and that it's always for me, it's so calming in the best way possible to just see your family, the happiness, the peace, the nature, also you relaxing. As we both are Capricorn generators, so you reading and you chilling while still look, obviously do your work, but like seeing this side gives me also, I don't know, it relaxes my nervous system because it's summer. Astrology is intense, energy is intense, and we are in pause or in void or in portals. Everyone is some in some type of transformation or a pause. There's not even like this joint space we're in anymore. Everyone's like kind of going through. So it's nice. I feel it's really beautiful that either we consciously or subconsciously we just take time out and remember that the beauty and magic of life. And I think the more tragedy and pain and unraveling we do witness, and I was saying it doesn't mean that we are ignorant to that. I think the sensitives and the healers and light workers and the guides of this world, for us, that's the job. We consciously bring the frequency of peace and joy and happiness to balance out instead of getting like completely. I like this morning, for example, I saw the picture of this. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. I cried. It's only enough for me to see a picture. I don't even watch news. Like, and my
right.
whole day is like. But then so the conscious work is to stay in the frequency of healing, sending healing, all of that. I know I am digressing a bit, which is completely normal for this ADHD brain. But I saw a picture of this boy before he went, like a Ukrainian boy, before he went to prison, then he came out, and like the difference, and that just completely that was a lot to process and obviously does something, but it wakes me up to the pain, but it doesn't mean that I sit there. Sometimes I cry, I send healing, but also for us to consciously bring up the frequency, to keep that frequency, send healing, whatever it is that you're called to do. And you will know like different, you know. So what I'm trying to say with all of this is it's okay to take time off. I think it's really needed to find magic while the parts of the world that we are no longer sustainable are falling apart. And yes, we see all of that destruction, but in that destruction, there's magic being born. And that, like, if we can just remember, that can be simple things. And the most simplest things that I think are the most beautiful, just remembering things. And like I went out on few dates, and
Mhm.
it was beautiful to remember because I'm a natural hermit, and I have been in my cocoon just healing and growing. Literally it felt like in the past few years it's been a cocoon. Like now I feel like I'm ready to live. So I went out, and and there was this moment that I shared also with this person there. And it's really interesting because someone said, and it really made me feel this, and I'll explain what I'm saying. And I saw somebody asked ChatGPT, what would you do for a day if you'd be human? And there was a really this beautiful like thing, and it made me so emotional, like how lucky we are as humans. And there was this sentence that I would want to feel life pressing at me. And all of through that one of the nights that we went out, and we went dancing, which is my favorite thing. That's the thing I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel
Oh,
life pressing at me.
I
It's just
feel
was
ooh,
like I was
chills.
in bliss. Like I still have goosebumps. Like I could not smiling. I couldn't stop smiling and laughing, and we danced all night. And it was just I deserve this because I haven't experienced this. Because it's kind of I won't go in reasons why, but it's I'm into going through like my quiet healing phase, but now I'm ready to be out in life, and that was completely incredibly beautiful to have that night.
Yeah, your last post. That's why we're both saying
Yeah.
before we recorded how inspired we are of how we're living right now. She's looking at me reading in the back and going, ah, yes. And then I see her dinner, girlfriends, restaurants, dates, dancing, all those D words. Oh, love it.
More D words,
More,
please.
more D words, please. Um, I have to read about it in my backyard. LOL. But
Oh my God.
but
But yeah.
but yeah, like it's like this is life. And I was like, I think your post was really inspiring too. You just giving like a snapshot. Yeah. Or that one of my friends was like, is she in America? I was like, that bitch, no, no. We would know if she was, first of all. But you were out and just sharing like a beautiful picture of yourself and then just like really beautiful snapshots of life. And like, this is the season. And I agree. Like you and I talk about this all the time on these shows. How do we enjoy the book in the backyard and the dancing nights out when people are being bombed to fucking oblivion right now, right? And what has been really helpful, a spiritual teacher taught me this with it, like if we add to that suffering, meaning if we make their suffering ours,
Yeah.
that's some more colonization shit. That's some more weird, like if we're making their suffering ours and we're taking it like making what they're going through about us, that's some weird shit, actually. So,
It's just yeah.
what's
Go
more
ahead.
advanced than that, right? Is to have, like, is what I keep calling like the sacred witness, is to
Mm-hmm.
like, I see you and I
Yeah.
see what is
Compassion.
happening and I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
But like me not pretending or even feeling and getting lost in like that their suffering is my suffering. That's taking it away from it's making it not about them. It's taking the awareness away from them and putting it on me. That's some weird colonization shit, right? Like what they're going through is what they're going through. And I can witness it and observe it. And I can do everything in my fucking power to help and
Yes.
heal the world from my position and from what
Yes.
I'm doing in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm helping to heal, which is release the suffering on the planet, right?
Yeah.
And to release
Exactly.
any of that like dissonance and all
Mm-hmm.
that distortion and all that
Distortion and
fear,
disconnect. Yeah.
disconnect. So me sitting on the ground, on the earth by a 500-year-old tree and anchoring my energy in and letting my kids run wild and free and naked and enjoy the pleasure of being on planet Earth. that is going to be more powerful. Like, what is it? Hawkins and a few other people will say, like, holding that vibration, one of our, Alexis just shared this, holding the vibration of love, right, is more
Yes.
powerful than 750,000 people holding the vibration of fear. That's
Okay.
fucking work.
Yes,
That's what we're doing.
exactly.
All right. When
And
you're
that,
dancing and when I'm book reading, yada, 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 and everything in between. We're
mhm.
holding a vibration that is actually more powerful. The open heart is way more powerful than any black magic, baby. And there's a lot of black magic going on. And if you're like, black magic, oh my God, where do we go? It's just fear. That's it. Fear. That's what black
Mhm.
magic is. Fear and manipulation of fear. That's it. It's in our
Yeah.
political system. It's in loads of other systems, and it's rampant on the planet. We need everyone that can, right? I feel like this is like a light worker fucking anthem right now, but to hold the vibration of love in their
Mhm.
field with whatever they're dealing with, whether they're
Yeah.
looking at something that is killing them inside, right?
Mhm.
Or they're dealing with something very uncomfortable in their own family and in their
Yeah.
own house. Staying open will be the hardest, most profound thing you can do on this planet.
That's so beautiful. I felt it completely because I feel this is sacred work, and it sometimes it can feel like a picture. Oh, I'm chilling and reading a book, but like the context of all of it, like the energetic work and like the open heart and all of what goes into living truly embodied life and being conscious and being in the frequency, that's not an easy thing. You just don't like wake, like that takes years, that takes alchemy, shadow work, all the things that we have been doing, we still do, we have phases when we do that, but that is a really deep kind of, it's almost like an existence. Like for me it feels like it's a mission, it's existence, it's a lifestyle, it's all of those things, it's living in that. And like I said as well, like like it's flashed through my mind when I posted like my happiness, because usually I post more of a guidance and astrology and all of that. I was like, there was a moment of guilt, is like, oh, what if someone feels uncomfortable because I'm happy? And I'm like, no, 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 no. We don't shrink ourselves in
Yeah.
order to accommodate the darkness or fear. That's exactly that. We raise the joy, the happiness, the love, and and we stay there until the world will slowly change into that. That I'm 100% sure. And that is the real true work, because also bringing in astrology right now,
Yeah.
there is definitely a revolution element of, so Saturn and Neptune have entered Aries, so we see the old collapsing and a new kind of spiritual identities and sovereignty rising, as everything is around, like the old is collapsing. Then Uranus, like, so Uranus is the biggest like kind of player this month, but also in this year and maybe a decade, because it's moving from the 7 years in Taurus. So this is also something I felt and read. Quite a lot of people are saying they feel anxiety, fatigue, because Uranus is at the 29th degree, which it's a master degree, it's an urgency, we are graduating Uranus in Taurus, which is our security, money, safety, material things. So we've moved through all of these. So there might be some people are blissful and kind of freed from the old greed and kind of distorted money belief systems. Some are still some. I felt mine coming up a little bit more, like as we're moving on the 7th of July. Taurus moves, and then it retrogrades back later in the year into Gemini for the like in Taurus for those lessons. But a lot of that security, what we think is security, like our supply, agriculture, earth, like supply systems, resources, all of those things have been deeply changed over the last 7, 8 years. And we are shifting, and Uranus is not like a subtle, like a Neptune shift, like whew, like even though I think I felt Neptune in Aries, because Aries is fire. Anyways, Uranus, when changes signs, it can be like shocks and electrics, like unexpected changes. Gemini is mutable air, so it's communication, AI, or like logistics, how we information. So it's going to be a lot of shifts in that. We will feel the landscape or like the shifting in a different way. And also on top of that, which is beautiful, like, so in from beginning of July until August, there is a Sirius. So Sirius aligns with the sun. I think the exact conjunction is 5th to 7th of August, and it happens exactly as Uranus moves in Gemini. So this is a beautiful kind of, I will meditate on this because I really went deeper, because Sirius, I'm just gonna share a little bit
Go to
more, yeah?
town. Yeah, because I was gonna say, what in the world is going on with astrologies these days? So we're in it. Yeah.
Astrology is just elevated to the point, like the big planets changing signs. That's why it feels like sometimes the void space is, and the liminal space is so, it's not even active. We are in the liminal space nonstop. There's no like kind of like grounding. So there's new ways, almost like we're grounding into a new reality, like nonstop, because of how deep these shifts are. And there's also access to a lot of more support, but like it feels, I don't even have words for all of the shifts at this time, because there is a lot of intensity. So back to Siri, back to Siri. I'm gonna try to
Can I just say, I feel like I never talk about aliens or galactic anything, you know me, but I know I can feel how connected I am. I don't feel like it's a source place for me, but anytime I do any like galactic heritage connection, it's always serious for me because they're like ancient. They're like, it's like when I do, it's hard to explain. It's hard to put words on it, but when
yeah,
I am channeling energy, and the things I make on the planet are me channeling energy from their ancient galactic wise systems. And
yeah.
it's like galactic physics is what I
Mhm.
do. And then I
Yeah,
break it down into my body and I break it up in digestible bits for humans on planet Earth.
that's like gave me full body goosebumps, because that's a great explanation of how you can explain yours. Like that's really beautiful. I feel it exactly aligns to you. I feel connection to several systems, because like I was like serious, definitely yes, but then I start like I feel most of them in different phases, like really deeply, because I think like I am so, sometimes I feel I'm so ancient, I'm like a million years old. I do feel that sometimes, and sometimes I there's a part of me that's like a really innocent, wondrous child. So that's a combination of those.
It's a
So
perfect combination. It's beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. And going back to dating, sometimes it's really, I feel I can see people struggling to conceptualize me, which I'm not supposed to, meant to be conceptualized. But
Yeah.
yeah, that with like maybe you feel that too, or felt that, like I don't know, when you, because you are not dating, you are married, but like that, that part when people trying to kind of put it in a box and it's impossible. Like yeah, I felt that. Like I feel like I'm like very like a different creature. Anyways, my brain is now, there's like 7 open tabs that is just having
That,
conversations. But
that
back
is
to. Hmm?
that is a 7 open tabs, 1000%.
Yeah, 7 is the minimum. Anyway, so so Sirius, explaining Sirius shortly. So Sirius are our Earth's spiritual sun. So it's like and when it connects to the spiritual, like our sun connects to, there's a higher wisdom, there's a frequency of love, there's codes, ancient codes, there's accelerated healing. I feel every time when July comes along, and I consciously a few years back started to connect, I felt this almost like how I visualize, like it's rainbow energy, it's rainbow like showers of light,
Yep.
light codes, light, like really loving information, very ancient, like you say, really deeply feminine, loving, like kind of like really incredible energy. So as this portal is opening up, and then it's like around, so the conjunctions fifth and seventh, but we can already feel it. I
Uh-huh.
always feel stars, especially now that we're talking about. So being out in a sun,
Mm.
not like being out in the sun and absorbing lights consciously, that can be great practice over the next few weeks. Um, yeah, so basically, when they are conjunct, our sun gets upgraded by the cosmic life force of Sirius. So there's every year there's an upgrade, there's a healing, there's so we really need what I sense intuitively, we really need the healing wisdom, the ancient wisdom. In a lot of people's, I feel also the codes will be unlocked, like because there's a lot of that happening in us, like to the next level, like there's more wisdom, more information, because also connecting. So Uranus, Saturn and Neptune and Aries, and then Pluto, they are trining. So, oh God. So the trine, they are making a triangle. There's a trine and two sextiles between these. Um, so there is this kind of a really frequency upgrades, like all of these planets working together. So that's why there's a sensation or if inner and outer revolution. That's what's happening across the planet. That's the energy. But it's not, yes, there's the one of the manifestations, but that's not of this energy, is the crumbling of the old. And also when you mentioned darkness is very rampant, when the old and the darkness is crumbling and kind of like squirming and it's being eradicated, it's gonna go off more and more. So the fear, the levels of fear and propaganda and fake, like the false information and just bombarding
Yep.
humanity with fear will be the biggest before it will leap into that next
Mhm.
level.
Yeah.
I know I'm speaking a bit out there, but that's kind of
No,
energetically where we're at.
you're very
It
clear.
doesn't really feel out there for me myself. I'm like, it's our life anyway. There's a lot of people that will truly understand what I'm saying, and there's a lot of people that don't understand the words, understand the energy. Is like, yeah, that makes sense. And some people will be like, I don't understand any of it, but I'm like, okay, I respect.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. Like, as in few years back, I think if we talk about this, it was more like, oh, I hope someone understands. Like, now it's more like, no, we're doing the work. This is a lot of work that we are doing, and we're coming together finally more and more. And we are owning what we're doing because it's time. Also, it's time to
Also, I
be.
think it's like, even though how we are here to be, how do I say this? How do I say this? Hold on. Let me try to sort
Yes.
words have been a interesting thing these last 2 days.
I get you. Slowly,
Oh
slowly.
my God. I almost had a spasm on a call yesterday and was like, I couldn't even fucking talk. Like,
Oh my God.
even though we feel crazy, okay, let's just like throw it out there. Like, not that we feel crazy because we feel grounded, we're enjoying life, but like that kind of like, am I making sense? Like, what am I know these things to be true, and every fiber of my body is like, we're right. We are actually beacons for people who are losing it right now, for who I have
Mhm.
no idea what's going on. We are energetic beacons
Yeah.
for people who are like very scared, very confused, that are
Yes.
hiding in their homes, hiding from their life. Like, they don't know what to do and what to think. They'll naturally gravitate to us, whether it's looking at our stories on Instagram, reading our posts, being on our newsletter, or texting us and calling us, because they're like, on some level, they're like, she gets this.
Yes. There is like safety. There's
Yeah.
like, oh, because the frequency that we emit, there is like strength in ground. Sorry, I interrupted. I
No,
want
no,
you to
no,
keep
you're good.
going, by the
Go,
way.
go, go.
But there is an energy of grounded strength because we have been here. We have in some sort of way done this before. We have also done the work, and we are doing the work. So you can come to us. You can be like, we are here. That's for like that's my mission. Like like I came to this earth to do this. I came to support. I came to hold space for healing. But back, sorry, I don't know why I needed to interrupt you so
No,
badly.
no, I was good.
I
I was good.
felt it. Like I feel it.
And also, go back to the ancient, like the
Yeah.
ancient energy, right? Ancient, but also childish. That is the beautiful scale to hold. That is
Yeah.
like you, like the highest levels of enlightenment are actually the curious child.
Yeah.
It's not, if the person's like, oh, I know everything. I know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right. So to come at life with this curious,
And wonder.
wonder, childlike thing, especially with what's happening on the planet, is actually like more enlightened than saying, I know that, well, I know exactly what this is. This is the insert whatever friggin'
Yeah.
conspiracy theory that you have rumbling
Or
around in your head right now.
dogma, which
Or
is not a living
right,
wisdom, or it's just
right.
like it's like calcified words into like that's not like living wisdom is like what like it moves, it's wondrous, it's childlike, it's living. That's why there's so much depth and so much purity because it's not calcified
Yeah.
from like yeah.
Even when people are like, people pretty much stopped asking me, like, what do you think's going on right now? Because I'm just like, I don't know. I I
Yeah.
don't fucking know. Are you kidding me? Be right? And it's like, but
I like, are you kidding me?
like, I don't fucking know. And that's what I was saying to you earlier. Like, I see the unraveling happen and I let it do what it needs to do. Thinking
Yeah.
I know more than this greater force around us is a fucking joke. And I think a lot of people come at that like because, and this is why, because there are people who need to know the answers. What's happening? Can you tell me what's happening? They'll believe the most far out fucking things. If the person has enough conviction from this is end times to this is aliens, like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Right.
And that all can be true. And none of it can be true because I'm in that curious state of like, I don't know. Let's just see what happens. I know what I'm being called to, and I'm going to continue listening to my pull. And
Yes, that's the key word. Yours, like your. I meant go on.
no, yeah, that was basically just the farther I get in this path, the more I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I like you this is bigger than all of us. This is bigger than any understanding
And I
ever.
think it's really beautiful how you explained. I love it. And I do. So there's a few things that I want to respond to in what you were saying, like the confusion and fear. And when you said like, oh, we are crazy, I think because it's so many, such a huge like like chunks of time where the programming in patriarchy, the diminishing of the beauty spirit of the magic or divine in what we carry, the power of us. That's why like when it comes like out wild like that, like it's wild and beautiful and wise, it's guiding, it's healing, all of those things, it's coming out in women more, I think, and also men, but more in women, this beautiful, ancient, wise, childlike like spirit of guidance and medicine across the planet. I know I'm going off in like
This is
my
great.
brain is just catching information because our channel is like this. But so what I wanted to say about people that are confused and lost, it's because they no longer can hold on to the program. The old program is crumbling, like energetically and like internally, like the belief systems, like there's nothing to hold on. So, and
Yeah.
that can be really scary. So being
Yeah.
also careful who you trust. The other thing that I was saying, like for me, the truth, what is truth, and also saying I don't know. I always knew, like, I had an interesting conversation about this, like, because I used books and mentors and like, but there's always, I could always discern the truth in my body. I could be like, yes, no, very, very simply. And that is, I think it takes, probably it's taken lifetimes to get to this point, but it's like trusting
Mhm.
your sovereign people are still learning this. And if you need mentors like that, please do follow people that know how to discern truth, not who are putting information inside your head,
Right.
who are holding space and being a living example of how to be sovereign and discerning and know your own truth, because you inherently will always be able to discern if you're not blocked up by distortion.
Oh my God,
That's
yes.
another thing. And then another thing I wanted to respond. This is great because there's a few tabs and I'm still responding. So I'm so proud of myself, especially today. Um, there was something I want to say, but no, not important.
It'll come. It'll come. I
It
want
will
to touch on
come.
the sovereignty bit because I know I
Yeah.
pull feathers when I talk about this, but
Hmm.
sovereignty is something that we are going to be learning for a very, very, very long time. And I think a lot of people really feel that they have gotten there. But like a theme I see that the same people who are talking about sovereignty are also the same people who are like, well, my guides told me, and my guide showed me, and my guides this, my guides, my guides, my guides, my, and I'm like, if you continuously have to receive orders from not yourself, you are not sovereign. It's right. It's like being sovereign is being whole unto thyself.
Hmm.
It's not needing to pull 7 cards before you walk out the door on whether you should take a left or take a right. It's not having to like consult with a council of higher beings who are turning around and looking at you and going, no, you're it. You're it. You don't need us. You are it. And I think that right there, that jump, that I think that's what people are actually so fucking scared of, their own power and how powerful you are. You don't need
Yeah.
guys to tell you what to do, what course to run, who to fucking date. It's a counsel that you can reach into if you're stuck and if something's coming down, and but really working with your whole self, your whole soul, and bringing your self and your soul more and more percent by percent by percent, taking in your light on the planet. That's fucking ascension. And
Yeah.
really it's descension. We're going in. We're going fucking down and in. And that's what you're bringing your light into. This is the bridge between heaven and earth. Oh, we
Okay.
gotta add this.
I
We gotta
think
add this to our topics.
yes. Now this is I could see you needed to get it out. But it's like when laughter erupts, it means like I am in like I'm receiving the information because I love passion and mixed slash truth because it's really powerful. I agree with you. I think this is like this topic of sovereignty and power. I've talked about power, owning the power, being scared of power since the beginning of time of my work when I started. Like that's the
Yeah.
base of my mission and what I remind people of and guide and hold space for people to remember their power. That's literally the essence of what I do in the world all the time, not only in my work. Like just I was born to do this, and I
Yeah.
do this also as a living example. Like
Mm,
just to remind that that's also one of, and that's like thanks to my beautiful son who awakened that like, oh, I need to become a living example, not only kind of like a server. Like, no, you live as power.
mm.
And then about the guides and the guidance, I have an include in this moment. I think let's say guidance and like guide it's not a bad thing. I think it's better than like listening to the news. Like let's so there's levels
Right.
to sovereignty. So you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Totally.
let's say
Totally.
you listen to
Yeah.
news or you have a meditation with your guides. Oh, that is kind of like so I feel the sovereignty is a huge lesson because Neptune entered in, that's like a sovereignty embodied, like spiritual, deep sovereign, spiritual sovereignty for the next 14 years, we will be learning. And then Saturn conjunct that, that's going to be grounding that sovereignty. So what you express is
Wow.
really the essence of these
Wow.
two planets that just entered this critical number one zero reality point, like next level, like existence for the planet. Like you just basically like spoke it in the words.
Mhm.
So I agree, but I think like people like will take time, and I think it's you
Yeah.
have compassion with yourself. If you want to pull cards, I think it's completely okay, but just pulling,
Yeah.
you know
All
what I
of
mean,
those things
like
are
you know
okay.
what I mean, like
Yeah.
not saying don't, like I think consulting with guides, yes, but then I think for what you spoke was like true power and sovereignty, like there's a difference. So like I'm trying to
Yeah.
explained that there's not a bad thing if like you receive some people for they will start to understand what spiritual and guidance means only in the next 14 years because they've
Can you
been
say,
receiving guidance from programming.
right? Can you
You know what
say
I'm
what
saying?
planet is having that 14-year transit?
Neptune in Aries. So that's a
Oh,
spiritual sovereignty boot camp for the humanity.
yo, this is exactly what I'm saying. Yes, thank you for this is what I'm picking up on. What? Yes,
Yes.
spirituality boot camp. Yes. And just for the record, I want to say I love the divination tools. I have cards right next to me on my desk. Like, I'm not
Yes.
saying the tools are anything. I'm not giving them a label.
Yeah.
Crystals are beautiful, cards are beautiful, oracle that like, but eventually
Yes.
in that journey, you become the oracle,
Yes. The oracle. You become
right?
the yeah.
So we work with these tools and we work with these tools and we learn about ourselves and we learn about our guidance system, right?
Yes.
We learn about how we take in and then we become the tool. And I mean, that took me maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I'll be completely fucking honest.
A few
Right.
lifetimes for sure.
And not a few fucking lifetimes.
Before
Right?
that, yes.
I can
Yes.
also, like, I have all my cards. I won't let them go. They're sitting over there in a pile. I haven't touched them in, I literally can't even fucking tell you. I still love them and I don't want to get rid of them, but I'm not pulling cards to intuit energy
Hmm.
and information anymore. I just receive it. I am it.
Yeah.
It becomes, right?
So that's like, so people can see several like few levels. I still really enjoy. I love my own channel. I speak like there's a really clear information, but I also I really take pleasure into like reading even with my clients sometimes for
Oh, yeah.
myself because
It's
I
beautiful.
like to learn.
Mhm.
There's also because of the archetypes. I like to learn about archetypes. Like for me,
Oh
it's
my
kind
God,
of
absolutely.
beautiful, like a beautiful ritual kind of a thing that I enjoy to do. You like so we can be in different spaces where you might be moved to like this like okay this is so clear
Mhm.
and like everyone can be in a different space but I understand also
Absolutely.
trusting yourself even when it comes to the guidance of using divination you still come back like you don't put the trust outside like I think you know that
Right.
you still hold like sovereignty but you can use those tools but like there's I think a differentiation where you put the trust outside or in a reader or in a
1000%.
card and then you go by that only and you abandon yourself.
Mhm.
That's I think you're talking about. That's like so we
Totally.
are learning. So when we
That's
still
why.
hold and we play with divination, I think that can be a really wonderful and joyful thing to do. But yeah, sovereignty stays here. Like you don't abandon your vessel for the truth.
Right. I think there's also sovereignty level to the tools.
Yes, I
And I
think
think
so.
even though this may sound like I'm, card readers could hear this and if you ever catch a card reader and talk to them behind the scenes, like they'll let you know they're sick of having people come and say, "Can you read my cards for my love life?" Like, will the right guy? And they're like, "That's not what this is for." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's not like a predicting your future tool because you don't want to heal your shit inside of you and you just go
Yes.
from card reader to get the message you're fucking looking for. That's not the sovereignty of the tool. And that's not the respect of the tool, right? So,
Mhm.
and because I've been having conversations with card readers about this too, and they feel an upgrade in how their service
Yeah.
and boundaries for who they want to work with and how they do want to help people with these tools and these systems now. And also I love what you said about the archetype, right? Like when you learn the tarot, however you pronounce it, it's like it's an archetypal the system.
It's a,
Right?
also a living wisdom tool, the
Yeah.
archetype that
Yeah.
you can use as guidance, but they are not there to take away your sovereign decision making. They are there to illuminate a deeper kind of things you're going through and give you some guidance. But
Mhm.
the work is on you. Like you don't put your
Right.
like your power of decision into that. Like
Yeah.
that's how I like if I use a card or an oracle, that's how I use that. Like it shows me, oh, this is what you have. Like if it's triggering, this is what you work on. Like
Mm,
and then like so you there like you say, there's levels and there's like this deeper integrity in how you use it. 100%, a
mhm,
100%.
right. And also, because people, I'll just bring it up too. Here we are, it's Cancer season. We're just fucking going deep here, like the good Cancer mama wants us to. We're just hitting all the angles. Why not? Swim
Yes.
in the ocean of oracular gifts right now. I think people get obsessed with it too. I think they become addicted to it, obsessed with,
Yeah.
and super dependent on it. And it's my invitation to those people to deepen your relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
right? And
I
also
think I completely, yeah,
like
go.
like ah, I think I don't know. It's like I know I'm really treading in some fucking territories here, but I think this stuff needs to be talked about. You know, like how people even like will keep going and paying for a reading that they want to hear
Yes, this
themselves.
is a full-on spiritual bypassing slash manipulation of keeping the person entrapped. But it's both of them. It's the person not wanting to do the work, and that's it. That's it. They just want like a glaze. So this is like a fake. This is distorted kind of like you're not doing anything. You're bypassing things. If like the true work is like, okay, if you receive a guidance, go do it. Like still you will have to do the work. No one will come and like tell you something and that will happen without you doing the work. I think it's quite simple like
Mhm.
that. Like
Yeah,
if you move, like for example, the typical thing that people is like relationship. When is gonna relate my perfect person come?
right.
When you'll be ready when you do the work. That's the
Right.
simple. Like that's like any person can tell you
Yeah.
that. And they don't like so you can try to understand deeper what do I work with, where are my triggers. You go that route instead of like, oh, it's not here yet, it's not here yet, I'm meeting the same person, the same archetypal man in different
Ah,
kind of avatars. And then it's like,
yeah.
oh my God, like when is this gonna end, I'm so tired. Yeah, because you're not actually doing the work, you're
Right.
not. So you are bypassing all of it and reading a card. So
Mhm,
that's like
mhm,
you are like you're skating on the surface of like human experience. Like
mhm,
that's that's not nothing. Go deeper, people.
mhm,
Go find the magic in the shadows. That's
mhm.
like my Plutonian Scorpio moon
Yeah.
guidance. Go find the diamonds in the shadows. Like you will be so blown away by who you are, how strong you are, by how incredibly resilient, intelligent, wonderful, and powerful you are. If you will have the courage to walk in, face your fears, sit with the shame, sit with ancestral wounds, sit with all of the things that are so uncomfortable and you're afraid of, but
Mhm,
they want your attention. That's why you're getting triggered and confused. Love yourself. The only thing that we need on this planet to heal it is to for us to love ourselves,
mm,
not to go run outside and search and fill ourselves with whatever it is, money, success. That's still, if we don't love ourselves, that's still an end, like it's a dead end. Like
mhm,
you're not getting like the love, self-love will bring you everything you ever need. Like learning to truly love yourself fully
mhm.
is the only thing like that will bring everything. Will bring love, abundance, success, and all of those things.
Amen.
But that was mine. That was my bit. Like this was
Amen.
it.
Yeah, this is such a great Cancer theme. And I think on
Yeah.
the bigger level than that, what most people were experiencing, like pulling out of looking at the minuscule areas, the micro angles of the tools and the this and the that, but looking at like, I think there's still so many people on the planet that want to be told what to do. They
Yeah, but
want to
that's
be
like
told the
yeah.
answer. It's the opposite of sovereignty. They're like, no, just tell
Huge.
me what's happening. Just tell me what I need to do. Just give me the diagnosis, doctor. Just tell me what's wrong with me. Tell me what, you know what I mean? That like they still need to be guided because they aren't ready to go on that adventure that you just explained so beautifully.
Yeah, and that's also in a way okay. But then you have to accept that like the depth, like you can stay in the middle level or on the surface level, but then accept that like you will feel half alive.
Mhm.
And that's also okay. Some like this will
Yep.
sound really brutal, but to fully live human experience, you need courage and grit. You will need to go on to the edge sometimes not if you've been in a past lives. But if you want to live fully and experience the wonder and magic and bliss that are so fully existent and all around us, if we are
Mhm.
open and courageous. Courage is a big thing also we are learning on sovereign. But
Mhm.
if you there's a lot of people that are come here to experience a different level. So these are the consciousness levels. This is like more of like, and
Yeah.
this is like where I also, okay, let's respect that, because then what we are speaking to is more of the people that are on the edge or
Yeah.
have leapt into and are like kind of like, who, I'm not sure. This is what who are we are for,
Mhm.
not the ones who are like, oh, that's not for me. I'm not ready. Like, I'm too scared. I'd rather be in a victim mode and fight for my limitations. That's what I see in a lot of people. They will fight for their limitations and create self-sabotage in a loop for years, even though it can see the potential there.
Mhm.
And it's a difficult place to be. And the other thing I want to say just today, it will take equal amounts of pain to
Yeah.
stay in this and suffering, whether you stay in that space where you don't grow and you just
Mhm.
slowly die, and whether you just leap and courage. There will be pain, but at least you will live a full life. It
Yeah.
will take all equal types of energy and effort and pain and suffering, because it's part of life. It's part of
It
we
is.
are human.
It is.
It's part of being human. We cannot be like, oh, I'm going to be happy and just joyful. Also, you'll be so bored. Like
Yes.
the intensity of life, like it will break your heart open. It will wake you up. It will give you, like you can truly, truly see life's wonder if you have seen the other spectrum of it.
Yep. Yep.
It doesn't mean I don't promote being pain 24/7. Obviously not. Like, but joy is the joy and peace and contentment, fulfillment, and all of the things. But part of life, human life, is pain and kind of is the challenges we go through and we grow through them. It's
Yeah.
part of, and it's also how much we can kind of stay in the suffering, like, because pain is realist, like it's part of life. Suffering is optional, because if we just keep repeating the story and staying stuck in the pain, or we can experience it and move forward and learn.
Yeah. And I completely agree everything you said. And I
Yeah,
think with like life here on planet Earth, right? There is no escaping pain. There's no escaping discomfort. It's something we're all here to experience,
yeah,
right? And again,
yeah,
like that being open through it, to be open through sadness, to
yeah.
stay open after heartache, to be, I mean, breakups, death, like life is challenging, right?
It's
And because of that, we can really enjoy the sweetness of it,
mhm.
you
That's
know?
like, it gives me goosebumps, because those are all, if we start to see them as, and when we're in it, when we're truly in the storm and darkness, it's often it's like, no, fuck off, like ISIS doesn't matter. But if I look back, and these were all initiations,
Mhm.
and because of that, like if you let your heart not close up, but like the violent, like that, there's this saying that I love, it took so much violence to be this gentle. And I
Mhm.
feel that fully applies to where I didn't, the betrayal and the violence and all of that that I've experienced made me softer. And that takes so much courage and strength. And I learned that about me. And so there's a lot of people that are learning. And I see a lot of beautiful people because they experience that. And those were portals of initiations
Mhm.
of that.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of violence to be gentle, but it takes also a really strong, like courageous, gorgeous soul to take it, that lesson, that way.
Mhm. Oh, what a cancer call right now. And I just
And
want to go ahead, tell us a little bit more astrology. But also I just want to say to anyone still listening to us, LOL, thank you so much. I just want to commend us because we come on here, you and I, and we're very vulnerable. You know what
Yeah,
I
we're laying all on the table.
putting it all on the table, and you can judge us and you can love
Yeah.
us and you can get triggered by us. That's fine. But I just really am holding space for like, it's still okay. It's safe to be vulnerable on this planet. And we both are on a growth pattern. And many people who are listening to this are as well. And it's okay to think differently than you did 10 years ago. And it's okay to go 10 years from now, we'll look back at these conversations and go, oh my God, what were we talking about?
Completely. And it's a huge sign of growth. If you are ashamed or embarrassed, like what you did like a few years ago or last month, that means you're growing.
Great, great.
Like that's
Yeah,
like it's a little bit of a simplification, but that's the truth, and that's fine. And being like I love what you said about vulnerability. I think yeah, it's scary to be even sharing a lot big parts of ourselves and kind of intimate parts. These are very intimate parts we share, to be really honest.
yeah,
And yes, I know with the no, and also not everyone will be agreeing or liking us and that's completely fine,
yeah,
but the ones that needed to hear some of it like and take away, then that's our job done. Like you don't have to love and like us even all the time. Sometimes you'll be like, yeah, I needed to hear that one sentence.
yeah,
I needed to hear that. Oh, I don't like that triggers me. That's fine. It's
yeah,
fine. We are here to do our job,
yeah.
to share whatever like spirit wants to like us to do, to share, and that's it.
Mhm.
Done.
Done. Okay, do you have any more astrology for the day for us?
No. So Neptune and Aries station retrograde. So like this energy that we have moved into the sovereignty and like the new Aries energy we spoke about, also waking up from illusion. So there's spiritual authenticity. All of these themes will have a bit of a, we've been kind of moving forward where it's like everything's coming at us, like especially like light codes, solar flares, like all of these things also happening. We receive a lot of light. So retrogrades are quite welcome for us to integrate this into the body so that when someone asks us, we actually have words. Because
Mhm.
now we are like, oh, we just vibrating in like, and we can do noises and make faces. We don't have a language for this new reality sometimes, or more specifically, what we're experiencing. And then we gain more of an embodied understanding of what's happening. So sobering like reality checks, collapsing illusions around like independence, all Aries themes, clearing false kind of confidence, falseness, false egos. Like we will see a lot of people that are like their kind of gurudom or their wisdom is built on sand, crumble down. That's going to be like people will see through bullshit so
Yeah.
much faster than anyone will ever like imagine, and that's great because like people feeding people fear or just distortion, I think it's a crime against humanity. I'm being a bit like it's a bit of a brutal sentence, but
Yeah.
come on, like
Yeah.
we don't need more
Yeah.
young, especially young people being continuously brainwashed. I mean, enough is enough.
Yeah.
So more love, more compassion, more truth for the young people and children. That's the main, like whenever I think of anything, it's just our children. Like the children, like we think of them, like and the people like so anybody who's false and horrible and spreading false information, you need to go. Oh my God, we need to stop this. my, my savage part is just now checking in into like in this end of the this is a bit of like this is my warrior like soldier energy that I've grown in
Mhm.
previous lifetimes too, where it is like I'm gonna protect and fight for anything
Yeah.
that who's being abused, whether it's information or just anything. Like I will fight
I think
for.
our channel activates that for both of us, and it opens up like a well of our magic in us that just goes on these.
Yeah,
Like I can feel it come from deep within when I get on with you and I start going on a fucking topic. I think we
yeah,
we like mirror each other when we open a channel or something like that.
And I think it's really magical and beautiful, and hence, because of that, we should keep going with this. However, like that's why, like this, our channel, it's really sacred, and whether we want it or not, sometimes to show up. I always want to show up, but I am talking to our future self versions. Whenever you don't show, it's your job to show up and have
Yeah.
this conversation.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, I think we can end here. There's
Oh.
also Mercury retrogrades. There is some retrograding in July.
Mhm.
But I feel July is also a big turning point. So to kind of wrap up the energy of 2025, like from January to June, it's been choppy. It's been like, whew. So there is a bit of a turning point where I feel that even though the big shifts are still with Uranus, we will feel it. Like expect the unexpected around communication, technology, like this kind of mastery degree until, and then we will kind of, we are mastering what security means to us. That also, it brings in the Jupiter and Cancer. There's another layer of that. So we're learning to feel safe in ourselves. A big theme for I feel a planet across for people is like the inner security, feeling safe in the body, because there's so much this is a bigger theme. Like we can talk about it maybe next time. Like there's disconnect. We often have a lot of humans like have such a huge disconnect from themselves. So feeling safe in the body is like I think I'm creating a program
Mm.
like to be the homecoming for the body with Jupiter in Cancer. I'm just gonna put it out
Ah.
there so I'm accountable to myself. So a 4 week kind of journey with Jupiter, with Cancer, with coming back into the body fully, trusting the emotion, like trusting it's also alchemy. So this has been coming through
Mm.
while I'm going through my own thing. It's been
Yeah.
also really deep because I like the Pluto. Are we like with the time we can
Yeah.
have 5 minutes? So just to go like an example about this, how astrology can be really powerful. So in this moment, Pluto is retrograding on my Venus in a fourth house. So I'm healing again like karmic patterns, which I've been doing. Like it's Pluto was on my sun in a fourth house. This is all karmic lineage stuff, so it looks like I'm forever in a karmic healing, but I hope that when Pluto moves over my sun, I can feel all the tests coming in, but there's a difference how I'm dealing with it, and I can feel my sovereignty and power and like my worth literally rising through every no I say when it's not aligned. So it's been powerful and really beautiful.
Wow.
Anyway, so that kind of, and that ties into like these deep experiences that I've been through, is bringing up this new, like I think for the next 12 months. So we'll have Jupiter in Cancer. This, when we don't feel safe, a lot of people don't feel safe to feel everything. So that's why there is this big disconnect.
Mm.
When we fully live in our body, we actually are welcome the
Mm.
things, the emotions, the healing. So that's kind of the essence. I am
Mm.
still figuring it out, but it will come. Okay, that's what I wanted to share.
It will come. All
Okay.
right. Well, this has been a fascinating call with you, per usual. We touched on so many
Exactly that.
topics. What?
Exactly that. Like this is always like a surprise. It's like a magic and surprise. And I learned so much about what we are saying because we never know what's gonna happen. Like our channel is really special. Like there is a guardian or few guardians that guard our channel and this space. Like when we two come together. So
I re-
thank you for our protection and for all of it. Like for us be like letting us be channels for this. Okay, thank you
and
so much.
fuck yeah to us for keep going with this. We've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah.
Go us.
Think we just keep going and see like once like I think the next level we talked about, but I think we just keep going with it and then because it's too good to just not do it and see what it involves.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Love
agree.
you.
Well,
Love
happy
you
summer,
guys.
everyone. Happy summer. I don't know what you need to take away from this, but you go take it into your summer, take it into your oceans, send it out
Yeah.
to sea and see what returns.
Yes. And then like be loving to each other. Let's be kind and loving. That's what we need to be. More of kindness and love. And we will see you next month again. It's gonna be, oh my God, it's gonna be August.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, June was really long and really short like the same time. Like it was several years and also a week.
Yep.
That does make no sense, but also makes so much sense.
I'm excited to see what the second half of the year brings, to be completely honest.
Yeah, yes. Yes, there's different type of energies. Like there's more of like more forward movement or of a different type, I feel.
Mhm. I'm ready for that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Leave us
you,
comments,
listeners.
share your experiences, share the questions you want to discuss in our future, maybe share everything. Like just comment on places.
Yeah. Comment. Comment.
Comment on every place you find us. Comment, share, subscribe.
Oh my God, I love us.
We
All right.
are becoming, I am turning into professional podcast. Please come and subscribe. We need to come on. Next level
Mhm.
for us is come on to video. I think people need to see us laugh and talk and
Yeah.
see our faces. I think we should do it. We don't need to be professional. We are already like professional in our own way. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Thank you,
I'm gonna
everyone.
stop
Love you.
it. All right. Bye, all to our listeners. We'll see you next month. See you soon. Bye.